Hi friends, I am Parvez, and in this video I want to show you that how you can build a widget application using Python, PyQt6 and also ChatGPT. Now we're going to give instruction for the ChatGPT to create a widget application for us using Python and also by PyQt6. After that we will talk about the codes. So now in here I'm going to just write build simple widget application with Python and PyQt6. Okay. So now let's just wait, and it's creating. So here's an example of simple widget application built using Python and PyQt6. So let's just wait. So we will talk about the code. Now it's using PyQt6 for the GUI or graphical user interface application. Also it's using requests for the fetching the data. So let's just wait. It's creating a button. We'll talk about the code. So first we need to just wait for the creating. Okay, you can see that it's using the open widget map, and you need an API key from that. We'll create the API key. So right now let's just wait for this. Alright, now the application is created. You can see this code uses PyQt6 library to create a simple GUI with label, text box and button. When the button is clicked, the getWidget function is called, which retrieves widget data for the city entered in the text box using the open widget map API and displays the temperature and humidity on the label. So please note that you will need to sign up for a free API key from open widget map and replace your API key in the code, okay, that you receive. So now I'm going to just copy this code. So I'm going to just copy the code. And right now, this is my PyCharm ID. Let me just create another Python file, and let me just call it widget. So simple widget app, okay. And let me paste the code in here. Now you need to bring some changes. Now the first thing that we don't need the Qt GUI and Qt core. We need just the Qt widgets. We are going to remove the unnecessary imports. So you can see in here it's importing system. After that it's importing Qt widgets, and after that it's creating a class widget app that is extending from the QMain window. It will be a QMain window. So this is our init, and also this is our super function. And in here it's setting the window title to widget app, so set window title, and also in here it's setting the geometry. Okay, so this is the x and y position, the width and height of the window. Okay. After that, it's creating a label for us using qtwidgets.label, and in the label, it's giving a text that enters city. After that, it is now in here. It's not using the label, the layout like Hbox or Vbox layout. It is directly moving the label to x and y position, 50x and 50y. After that, it's creating a text box, or we can say a Q line edit, and it's moving that to the x and y position, 150 and also 50. And after that it's creating a push button. It's a get widget, and this is the signal, and it will be a clicked signal. For example, if the user if I just run this, so right now it will not work. That's because we need to just remove this, because that execute is deprecated and PyQt6 use this execute. Okay, so now for example, if I just run this, and you can see that it is the code, even though it's not looking good because it's using it, it's not using the layout management, but you can use the layout management. So right now you can see that it's entering a CT, and let's just tell to ChatGPT that there is no layout management. And if I just open this, and if I just say there is no layout in the code for the widgets, yeah, you can see it's telling that the move method, which is not the most efficient way of laying out widgets, and the more efficient way is to use the layout managers. And here's an example that how you can use the layout managers to position the widgets in the widget application. Okay, so we want to use this because it's working, there's no problem, but it's not a good idea to use, for example, to move the widgets. And for example, if I just make it smaller, and you can see it's not looking good. And instead of that, if you have watched my tutorials on PyQt, we have different widgets like VBox layout, HBox layout that we can use that. Okay, so now let's just wait. It's creating the new code for us, and this time you can see that it's using the layout. Okay, and let's just wait. Now the code is completed. Okay, now you can see that in this example I used VBox layout to create a vertical layout that stacks the widgets on top of each other. I added the label text box, the button to the layout. So now I'm going to just copy this new code and let me just paste it in here. Okay, so now if you see, we have the same imports and we don't need the core and Qt core and Qt GUI. We have class reader app. This is the label, but in here we have, you can see that we have a vertical box layout, and after that it's creating the label, the text box, and also the button, and also it's connecting the button with the get reader slot. So this is the signal, and now this is the method that we are going to get the reader information in here. So if you see the get reader in here, you can see that we are getting the information, and we are retrieving the information from the open reader map. Okay, so now it's connecting that with the button. For example, if I just let me just remove this execute because it will not work. Now if I just run this, okay, so now you can see it's looking good and we have a nice layout for this. So you can see, for example, if the user enters a city and if he hit get reader, then it will call the clicked signal, and the clicked signal will be connected to this get reader slot or method that we have. Okay, so now this is the place that we are adding all the widgets to the layout. So you can see we have label, text box, and button. We need to add those to the vertical box layout that we have created. Okay, so we are using layout.add widget, layout.add widget for the label, for the text box, and for the button. Okay, and this is a central widget for the main window, that it's creating a central widget, and it's aligning all the widgets because all the widgets are inside the layout, and it's setting the main window layout to that vertical box layout. Okay, and after that you can see that this is the get reader method. So and here the first, it's getting the city, or we can say the user text from the text box. So if I run this, you can see that we have a text box. Now for example, if I write something, first we need to get this text from here, and we can use .text to get that, and it's saving in the city variable. After doing that, we need the API key. Okay, so you need to go to the open reader map and you need to create a free account, and you can get the free API key from here. So I already have an API key, and so you can see that it is open reader map, and you can just go to the API keys, and I'm going to just copy this API key and I want to just paste that in here. Okay, and you don't need to bring any change. So this is the URL, and it's using 2.5, and it's searching according to the city, and this is our API key, and this is the requests. Now make sure that you already have installed request library because it's using requests, and you can just use pip install requests. I already have installed, and it will be installed. Okay, and now it's showing, for example, the weather, the main, and also the temperature, the humidity. And after that, it's setting the information like temp and also humidity to the label. So cell.label.setText, and it's setting those informations. Okay, and after that we have our main application. We and here it's instantiating the weather application. It's showing that, and this is our loop. Okay, so now for example, if I just run this, okay, so now enter a city name. So if I, for example, enter New York, and if I just click on get reader, so you can see that this is the temperature, so temperature and humidity. And for example, you can just change the font size for this label. So let me just show you. For example, I can just say cell.label.set font, and I can just use Q font. Now we need to import the Q font. We can bring some changes to the code. So I can just say from PyQt6.Qt GUI, we are going to import Q font, and in here so I can just say Q font. You need to just give the type of the font, for example, Times, and this should be 20. Okay, and now let's just run this again. For example, if I say New York, get weather, So let's just wait. Okay, so you can see that this is the weather, temperature and the humidity. If I just say, for example, Chicago and get weather, and you can see that we have the information. So like this, you can build a weather application using ChatGPT. You can see that the code is created by ChatGPT, and we have just brought some changes, and that's working. Okay, so thank you guys. If you have any question, please let me know, and for the further videos, please subscribe to my channel, like the video, and also share the video.